Hello, my name is Patrick Ramsey, and I'm going to give my persuasive speech today. Now, the presidents of the United States have to make many important decisions. Many of the decisions that the presidents make have to deal with the military. I think the commander-in-chief should have military experience. The president is the commander-in-chief of the military. This is a big responsibility for anyone. It is my goal to persuade you to believe that anyone that is going to take on the job of commander-in-chief should have a military background. I will inform you of times when the president was military and of times when he was not. It is my opinion that when the president does not have a military background, he is not as thoughtful of the military as someone that has served. The first president of the United States was, of course, George Washington. Before he was president, he was many things. He was a farmer, he was a brewer, and he was also a military man. According to WhiteHouse.gov, George Washington was commissioned a lieutenant colonel in 1754. As a lieutenant colonel, he fought in the French and Indian War. Later, in 1775, when the Second Continental Congress met in May, they elected him the commander-in-chief of the Continental Army. As General Washington, he led the Continental Army to defeat the British Army. After the end of the war, the American people wanted George Washington to become the first president. George Washington set the tone for all presidents to follow. When Dwight D. Eisenhower became president, some big changes happened in this country. One of the biggest was the Federal Aid Highway Act of 1956. According to Wikipedia.com, when Eisenhower was a young Army officer, he was involved in a cross-country military convoy. The roads at the time were not good at all. The trip put a seed in young Eisenhower's mind to make better roads. Later, when he was in World War II, he saw the roads in Germany, and once he became the president, he planted that seed, and it became the interstate highway system that we have today. According to Bush Library, in 1944, the naval aviator at the time, George Bush, was shot down over an island in the Pacific Ocean. He was later rescued. It was that experience, in my opinion, that led, at the time, President Bush to say, talking about the 1990 Gulf War, this will not be another Vietnam. Because of his experience in fighting war, he knew that he did not want to send troops into a long, drawn-out war. And it is why that the war only lasted, according to USMM.org, 100 hours of actual combat. According to HumanEvents.com, when Bill Clinton became president, he slashed the military budget. And this is hard on the families of the military. President Clinton did not have a military background, and he did not know the burden of serving one's country. I think that I have showed that the men that have become president that had military backgrounds were better presidents than the men without military backgrounds. And I stand by my opinion that before you can become president, you should serve in the U.S. military.
Yay!
Okay, with that.